It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions. Next on Madden NFL 24.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway from Ford Field. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm time when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make everything in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Off play action. Here's Goff. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
This 2nd and 4. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down, and winds up getting 7.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Goff on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs from 10 yards out. And the Lions will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive, maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's Brown on 2nd down. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Burrow on play action. He had him. He was open. went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
11. They're going to run for it. It's Moss. Running right through it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation.
Here we go.
Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated every code on that one, didn't he? Deciding to go for it right there.
Oh, yeah, your side of the field, this stage of the game, you're supposed to punt the football. He said, who cares? I'm going to light the book on fire.
Yeah, analytics, everyone else, be warned, he's coming for you.
On 2nd down, Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and he'll force the incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play now this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions up. Set once again, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So big turn of events there. They had him sacked on 3rd down, but the hand to the face going to give him new life.
And when it comes to protecting quarterbacks, partners, you well know, these officials are not going to hesitate if they see a tug on the mask. Heck, if they see a hand up near the mask, the flag's going to come out.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that. I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 6. Goff now looks to throw. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Toss left to Montgomery. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Here's Goff. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Goff. There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. Here we go. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First down now, but that clock rolling. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. This one caught downfield by Higgins. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right. Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of him, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The left side completion to Jones. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Raymond now on the return. This taken in right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando. Sorry, Coach. We'll catch up with you after the game. We're going to skip through halftime here and headed back to the field for the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
Well, that return had all the trappings of really good scouting. You could tell that they thought they saw something on tape that they could take advantage of, and they dialed it up at just the right time to give them a great return.
Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they go play action now. Burrow. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually got to pick up the holding call.
And down to the 36-yard line here. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
McPherson's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 1st down, Goff. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And when you're in a 1-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line.
Now Goff. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This pass down the field for Gibbs. And that's caught inside the 30. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's how you put field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
Montgomery will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown. So they brought the extra bulk in down to the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down. Here's Burrow. He's got Chase on the comeback route. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They go play action with Burrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And quickly they get to the line. Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
On 1, ready?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To the air again, Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So nothing doing there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Bengals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out. On the other side, they've had trouble stopping him not only on the ground but through the air. He's hit the century mark running the ball. He's approaching that receiving it.
I'm starting to think, Brandon, we're going to have to start judging running backs by a little bit different standard. And we know the gold standard now is 1,000 yards running the football. But I think we've got to start looking at all-purpose yards, yards from scrimmage. That's probably a better measure of what you're getting from these backs, because look at the game we're getting here. He's run it well, but overall his damage has been done catching it.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that will continue. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 104 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Goff now looking to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Marcus Davenport, the 1st rounder out of UTSA with a sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And partner, guaranteed they approach this with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, that incompletion, right back where they started out the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Here's 2nd down. To throw, Burrow. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, they've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
Just preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Moss will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
And touchdown and congratulations and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. So here's Goff and the Lions. Down 22-21. Under a minute 20 to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
The Bengals set to take over. This remains a one-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on, seal this victory.
And the defense did it so well, didn't they? Didn't allow any points and got the ball back for their offense in order to close out this game. What a great feeling for both sides of the ball.
It would be a better feeling if the offense can just seal this thing. We'll see if they can do it.
You trying to say the defense doesn't want to go back out there again?
That's correct.
Okay.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. As they're getting just a shade under a minute to go in the game. They'll run on third down with Brown. And he will have the Bengals first down. And it's celebration time on that sideline. And they've earned it. They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having their linebackers set the edge.
Third down, here's a run by Moss. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, they got the touchdown, but a little risky, even though where they were to run the football in that situation on the final play.
If they give it up somehow, if turnover is created and they take it back the other way, instead of a comfortable victory that they got now, they've got a lot of explaining to do about why they tried to run the ball in that situation instead of just taking a knee and icing it.
But thankfully for them, they won't have to do any explaining. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.